Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flannel Channel. I'm Philip, and I'm back here in the shop working on the Curtis Lowe project. It's our 79 F-150 that we've body dropped and slammed onto a 03 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor. Now, today's a little bit of a guilty pleasure day for me. I'm about to get out the wool pad and buff out some of this paint. Now, you might be wondering, like, dude, isn't it kind of early for that? You haven't finished all the body work yet, you know, stuff like that. I have a reason for part of why I'm doing this now and today. But a big part of it is just because I'm so excited. I've been waiting this long. I can't wait to see what's hiding underneath all this faded paint. So join with me. It's going to be a fun episode. Stick around. As you can see looking across the hood, there is a lot of oxidized paint on this thing. It's just really, really faded. And I went over to one little corner right here, and just with a rag and a cloth, we brought back some shine and some metal flake. Yeah, that's really, really cool. In fact, if you catch the light just right, you can see where our hands have been slamming this hood a few times, and right on that edge, it's already starting to come through. So let me show you what I have. It's nothing special. It really isn't. Just a really basic cheap grinder, wool pad, and part store special, the kind of stuff they had on sale. So, you know, I already owned it. Nothing's cheaper than what you already own. And part of the reason that I'm doing this on the doors is because, well, the interior of the truck itself is not complete. It's not done yet. I have the mirrors ready to bolt on, but nothing is easier than having the surface laid out horizontally for you, nice and flat, instead of doing it vertically on the truck. I love being able to use sawhorses and things like that whenever I can. There's a couple of spots that I would like to be able to touch up and patch up if I can, just a little bit. I have plenty of flat sheet metal that I can work with that's going to be taken off of the box or the old firewall and things like that. Not as much on this one. This is the driver's door, so one little spot down in here I want to get, but I'm gonna just leave whatever dings and dents that are in there. I'm not going to get carried away with this. I basically just want to bring back what I can. I'm going to get rid of this old vinyl pinstripe that's on the entire truck. And I'll show you how I'm going to use the eraser wheel. We'll get that off of there and really be able to see what's hiding underneath all this oxidation. Another reason is I have some new lights ordered for the roof of this thing, and since the lights will be taken off, that's a great time to hit the roof at that time as well. So yeah, could I and should I be spending time on the box and cutting that up? Yes, I should be. But like I've said in other videos, we're still waiting on 220 power to be installed, and so I can't finish getting the roll bar welded up quite yet. So while I have the opportunity and the chance and the time, I'm going to be buffing out certain panels on the truck, but maybe not the entire thing. And I just plain want to see it. I've been waiting to see this chapter of the story happen for so long. I'm just excited. So enough talk. Let's get some action going. I'm going to set up a time lapse here once I actually start buffing, but let me take a quick minute. I'll show you how we get these things off. Now let me give you a quick rundown of the tool that I'm going to use here today. It's called an eraser wheel. It's kind of a soft gummy rubber. If you're a body guy or a detailer, you're probably very familiar with this thing. It can be chalked up in a basic drill, and it's really, really easy, simple tool. You can get it at most part stores, and it's basically just going to buzz around like that and slowly take the pinstripe off all the surfaces that I want to get them off of. It may, on newer pinstripes, leave a little bit of a residue behind, and you can get rid of that with mineral spirits, brake clean, something like that. On ours, it's so old and faded that it should come off and just turn to dust relatively easily. What I know is going to happen is underneath there's going to be some ultraviolet fading of the paint. and it's going to look a little bit different underneath. So I'm hoping that once we get this vinyl off there and buff it, that those lines will disappear. But if not, that's part of the story of the truck, and nothing about this entire truck is perfect. So I'm just going to be okay with whatever it turns out to be. I just know this is step one. Get the old vinyl pinstripe off. Not bad at all. All right, so as I rub some of those areas, you can see that, yeah, I could probably get that off. Let me grab some mineral spirits here. There we go. Awesome. And you can see right there, just like I was talking about, as it evaporates, there's our line. And that's very obvious in the light that I'm seeing it in. There, maybe you can see it even a little bit more right there. I'm gonna be fine with that. And it's gonna lighten up and be less noticeable after buffing, hopefully, but you know what? It's part of the story of the truck that it has to tell. So let's do the rest. Yeah, heck yeah. Piece of cake. I knew that would come off really easy, and keeping it really low speed like that helps to just control the heat and not get too carried away and burn through the paint. I've also said in many of my videos in the past that I am not a body guy, I'm not a paint guy, so I'm just sort of figuring this stuff out as I go and try my best, and yeah, so look at that, just a wipe down with the brake clean already brings some of the shine out. It must just be a coating of oil that's in the rag. I don't know. It's fun though. So I'm going to go through and probably debadge a few spots like that and mask off some areas that I don't want to get buffing compound in. I'm going to see if these come off, because what I really don't want to do is catch the wool pad on that and break some of my chrome. So I'm going to do hopefully a little bit of prep work so that things go even better and smoother, and let's get that wool pad fired up. Yeah. Boy, that is a lot of fun to do. And I have very little experience with buffing paint and polishing it out and stuff like that. So I'm honestly just doing the best that I know how, and it's fun. It's just really, really satisfying to watch that come back. It shows off every single scratch and dent and all those things, but I don't care, you know? It's beautiful, and it's telling the story of the truck. So there's a little bit of a comparison after and before. Yep, we'll take it. It's not showroom, it's not supposed to be. It's fine. I dig it. Can't wait to keep going. But I need to quit for tonight. I'll do some more, maybe tomorrow. Hopefully I can come back out. Right on. Man, that is so much fun. I love to see what's underneath the paint. And, you know, I'm seeing sanding marks and thin spray pattern and things like that, dents and dings everywhere. It's fine, it's totally okay. I'm just enjoying taking that oxidation off and seeing the shine come back through and letting the truck speak for itself and the history that this thing has underneath. Totally fine. Super satisfying. So, you know, body guys, paint correction guys, look away if you have to. I'm having a blast. Trying not to build up too much heat and relieve swirls or things like that, and just let the paint underneath breathe again. Yeah. Moving on. This is fun.
And I tell you what, this is so much fun and so satisfying. I'm really enjoying this. I guarantee you that there's people that are way more skilled at this than I am and have a lot more experience, but I'm just doing what I know how to do, and it's fun to see some of the old oxidation come off, and it's so satisfying to just watch that old paint come back. And yeah, I love it. I love it. Really having fun.
Ooh, and check these out. That's gonna be sweet. Uh-huh. Can't wait to put those on.
Okay, so it's another school night, and since the kids are upstairs doing homework, Dad's gonna be down here doing a little mini project, and this time I'm gonna polish these things up just a little bit more and then put some black paint on the inside of those emblems and kind of restore it a little bit. I don't know, make it better. So, Alfie enamels McKeegs black. It's the good stuff. Kind of a fun little thing to do. And then I actually need to get a little bit of pinstriping practice in because I got a big weekend planned. Big project. I'll probably show you that in a different episode. But yeah, that's what's going on right now.
So now that the entire truck has been buffed out, I'm going to say something that might surprise some of you. I actually don't like it as much now as I did before I started. I do like the fact that the oxidation is off. That's great. But what this revealed by buffing all this out is a really, really cheap paint job that was done years and years ago. And it's really, really thin in some spots. There's a lot of sanding marks in it. The finish is very splotchy, so you might have a shiny spot here and a dull spot and then another shiny spot and things like that. Now I do really like the metal flake underneath. This was really fun. It was satisfying to see that oxidation come off and to reveal what was underneath it. Like I've said many times already, the dents, the scratches, things like that, it's all the character of the truck that's in the metal. But I think I'm going to try something, and I'm just making a decision on the fly. I've talked it over with my boys. I decided that I'm actually going to go back to a matte finish on the entire truck, but I'm going to leave the dent, the only shiny part. I'm going to try that. Now, I'm making this decision kind of on the fly. I was really, really excited to see what was underneath all that corrosion and things like that, all that buildup of hard water stains and black moss and all that junk. It's fun to see it, but I actually like it less being shiny or splotchy shiny. So let me bring you in close. I'll show you a little bit what I'm talking about, and hopefully it'll make more sense to you. I don't know. All right, so right here looking across the roof, you can see those lines. It's very, very evident right here. You can see where the painter just went back and forth. Now, that's okay. I knew that looking in some of these spots, you can tell where the paint is actually peeled off and things like that. So, truth is, I'm building this truck for myself. I'm not doing it to try and win awards or anything like that. What I don't want is people to see this and think that I painted it, because I didn't. I almost get the feeling that with it shiny, it's almost kind of like the truck is trying too hard. And I loved the look when it was all dull. I thought the truck looked more tough being dull. So I'm going to use some acetone or some brake cleaner or something like that. That'll get the wax back off of it. And then I'm going to use Scotch-Brite pads or steel wool or something like that. And I'm just going to go over anything that's shiny, with the exception of my dent. And I'm going to leave the dent, the shiny part, and everything else will be dull. I don't know. I might regret it later. It's okay. I'm learning as I go. And for sure, I just want to put it back to that tough look that it had before. So this was fun. You might think I'm crazy, and I am. I'm nuts, but I'm doing this my way, not for anybody else. So I'm going to start with one panel, probably on the back of the cab, and scuff it up, see if I like it.
Yep, that's a win. That's what I wanted, and I think that looks so much better. I'm still undecided if I'm gonna scuff this or leave it glossy, but yep, I think that looks way tougher than this. I don't like this at all, so scuff it up. I wanna have glossy, shiny chrome and dull paint. That's the look that I fell in love with on this truck, and that's what I'm going back to, so yep. Kind of a suede, satin, semi-gloss, whatever you want to call it. Looks like it's been through a lifetime worth of washes. Sun fade, it's perfect. And it'll accent those shiny chrome pieces. Yep, I dig it, that's a win. We're back. One of the things I wanted to work on is the cab lights on this thing. And I think I've shown you before that these particular ones were not factory. They are aftermarket. It's something that would have been really common in the 70s and 80s, found on like campers, RVs, boats, semi-trailers, things like that. But I was able to find Grote, I'm not really sure how to pronounce their company's name, but I like their stuff. Just a single bulb, it's incandescent, and grounds right there through the screw. And I wanted to put these exactly in the same spot that they were on the truck when we first got it. So yeah, solder, heat shrink tube, fresh lenses. They come with bulbs, screws, a little bit of silicone just to make sure that we don't have any water leaks in this thing. And yeah, should be awesome. All right, so everything is soldered, heat shrinked, sealed up with a little bit of silicone, and I have one power wire that leads down the pillar here into the dash area. I don't have it officially hooked up or wired, but I have my power probe here. We're gonna send 12 volts to it. See how everything works. Let's take a look. For the first time, you get to see it. Here we go. Hey, right on. I'm doing that, by the way, with the switch. So, yeah, I love it. Pretty cool. I know it's not everybody's style or flavor to have cab lights, and factory probably would have only been like 3/4 tons or 1 tons that had roof lights like this, clearance lights, whatever you want to call them. They came on our project. I love them. I think they're cool, and I wanted to get a fresh set on there so they look the part, and they all work now. Super cool. All right. I just wanted to thank you guys for coming along on this episode. Thanks for sticking around, watching through the end of the video. I appreciate each one of you. Remember, I don't see the comments here on YouTube, but if you want to interact with me directly, I'm over at Instagram. It's at flannel_Phillip. If you're interested in merch, that's at GoShineOn.com. We have Peace and Grease t-shirts and hoodies over there, and we have some Curtis Lowe merch coming up soon. I keep telling you about it. Stay tuned. It is on its way. We're ordering things and getting everything finished up so that we can sell only the best stuff. That's the plan. Hey, all the shares, the likes, the comments, all the stuff that you guys know what to do, I truly appreciate it. Thank you. The flannel flock rocks. Peace and grease, everybody.